Hello, beautiful people. This is my week 7 check in of the Artist Way. Just burning some Palo Santo and basking in this Sunday morning sun. And just wanted to take a moment to send some good energy to anyone who's watching this, whenever you're watching this. I feel so energetic right now and just so grateful and aligned. There's a lot of good vibrations, and just wanted to start this video off by saying I'm sending them your way whenever you might be watching this. But I'm gonna keep this as quick as I can. I do have work today, so I'm just starting my day off literally in the sun and reflecting, which is the best Sunday. So week 7 was titled Recovering a Sense of Connection. So Julia said, we turn this week to the practice of right attitudes for creativity. The emphasis is on your receptive as well as active skills. The essays, exercises, and tasks aim at excavating areas of genuine creative interest as you connect with your personal dreams. So there was, I think, 3 or 4 chapters in week 7. So we went through listening, perfectionism, risk, and jealousy. I think all 4 of these topics are very prevalent and relevant to me, and I have definitely had my own experiences with perfectionism and struggles with it as well as jealousy, if I'm being really honest. So yeah, it was a really interesting week. I think this was one of my favorites yet. So just to go through some of the chapters regarding listening, this really talked about the morning pages and just how in tune we become with ourselves when it's a stream of consciousness and we're doing it in the morning. So she says that the pages train us to hear past our sensor. The artist states help us to pick up the voice of inspiration. She spoke about how art is an act of tuning in and dropping down into the well. She says, like an underground river, ideas flow through us like an underground river, they flow through us as a stream of ideas that we can tap into. She says about tuning into the correct frequencies as well. And she said once you accept that it is natural to create, you can begin to accept a second idea that the creator will hand you whatever you need for the project. The minute you're willing to accept the help of this collaborator, you will see useful bits of help everywhere in your life. Be alert. There is a second voice, a higher harmonic, adding to and augmenting your inner creative voice. This voice frequently shows itself in synchronicity. So this links back to, I think it was week 4 or 5 when we spoke about synchronicities. And since that week, I've been super alert to signs or things that people are saying. I truly believe that I've had encounters with people over the last 7 weeks of doing this book that are truly angels that my spirit guides have sent to me. That might sound crazy, but I've just had some really crazy interactions with random people that have just been really profound. And I've been listening to those and making sense of them in my own way. She says, try to remember that God is the great artist. Artists, like other artists, expect the universe to support your dream. It will. If you expect God, source, spirit, universe to support you and give you the tools that you need to reach your dreams, it will. Just accept that that's going to happen. So I love that chapter. Second chapter, perfectionism. I think if anybody who's watching this is doing the artist way, you've probably experienced issues with perfectionism. We all go through it. I think anyone in life trying to create something can definitely experience this, and it's so frustrating. I have started so many things and just given up on them because it's just taken me so much time, and I just feel like it's never going to be perfect. But nothing is perfect, as we all know. So Julia says perfectionism is a refusal to let yourself move ahead. And she is right. She says, do not fear mistakes. Actually, Miles Davis said this. Do not fear mistakes. There are none. There are no mistakes. What is a mistake? We're all just learning, you know? She says the perfectionist writes, paints, creates with one eye on her audience. Instead of enjoying the process, the perfectionist is constantly grading the results. You're already thinking about the perception of the audience before you've even finished or started the project, which this book is also teaching me to create for self, not for validation, for the audience, anything else. It should always come from within. The perfectionist is never satisfied. Obviously, there is always, with any project or art that I've created, there is always something I could have added. And most times I've had somebody else in the room, like producer or whatever it is, whoever I'm working with, to say, we can leave it there, like it's fine, because I could go on for days, I could go on for years if I really wanted to, just keep adding and adding and adding. But you should feel when it's time to stop, and it's okay to stop too. To the perfectionist, there is always room for improvement. The perfectionist calls this humility. In reality, it's egotism. Perfectionism is not a quest for the best, it's pursuit of the worst in ourselves, the part that tells us that nothing we ever do will be good enough, that we should try again. So yeah, it's basically, I know all this already, but it really resonated with me because I've had my struggles with this in the past, and I think it's just the act of feeling the flow when it comes and letting go of it when it goes, and not having to just feel like you need to keep going on with that project. You should know when it's time to stop and to let it out into the world, which is something that I'll speak about this in a second, but something that I'm currently going through right now in my reality 3D. So yeah, we'll speak about that in a sec. The third topic was about risk. I think this was probably the one. No, I was going to say I didn't highlight a lot, but I actually did. She says the success of creative recovery hinges on our ability to move out of the head and into action. Let me say that one more time. The success of a creative recovery hinges on our ability to move out of the head and into action. This brings us squarely to risk. Because once the idea in your head is out there in the world, there are so many things that could be detrimental to it. So sometimes we don't actually want to take the risk to put it out, because what if it doesn't get perceived the way that you want it to be perceived, which again, I've struggled with this a lot. She says, we deny that in order to do something well, we must first be willing to do it badly. Instead, we opt for setting our limits at the point where we feel assured of success. Living within these bounds, we may feel stifled, smothered, despairing, and bored, but we do feel safe, and safety is a very expensive illusion. Yeah, that really spoke to me. There's so many things that I've said I want to try, but yeah, I am scared of failure, because I know that I'm not going to be as good as like the next person, so why would I try in the first place, which is a really, really bad mindset to have. So I really resonated with that. She says there's a common joke among directors. Oh yeah, I always know exactly how I should direct the picture after I'm done directing it. So it's kind of like you have to experience it and then learn how to do it, but you should just do it in the first place. Just jump in full throttle. As songwriters, we try to repeat a formula hit. In this way, artists who do not appear blocked to the outside eye experience themselves as blocked internally, unable to take the risk of moving into new and more satisfying artistic territory. Again, majorly battled with that idea of, I felt that I had to just work with one producer for the rest of my life because that was all that I knew and that was all that had worked for me before, when actually collaboration with others is the best way to grow. And you figure out different formulas, and that's not to say that they might be better or worse, it's just different. And it's good to try new things, because if you stay in the same lane, then it's quite unlikely you're going to grow. So yeah, I really like that part. Jealousy was an interesting topic. She says, my jealousy had actually been a mask for my fear of doing something I really wanted to do but was not yet brave enough to take action forward. Oftentimes we'll look at somebody who has something that we want, or has achieved something that we want to do, and we have to look into ourselves, why can't I do that? What makes them different to me? Yes, sometimes you might say, oh, they have more money or they've had a more privileged upbringing, but Julia made us do this exercise called a jealousy map. So we had to write who the person is, why we're jealous of them, and an action for that. So she gave the example of my sister. She has a real art studio, and then Julia's action was to fix her own art studio. So I think I I did a couple. This was like really, I had to really think about this because jealousy, I don't feel like a jealous person. I definitely used to used to suffer with this when I was younger, and I did so much work on it. Where did I put this? I also started my new notebook because I finished my old one, and she's very pretty and blue. Being so honest, and I would say this to his face, my first one was my boyfriend, because he makes quite he makes more money than I do. He makes more money than I do for his work, and truly doesn't have to work as much as I work. And obviously money is a very sensitive topic in relationships and friendships, whatever it is. So I put, why would I be jealous towards that? And I said, he makes more money than I do. My action was just, make more money, bitch. Make more money. Like, I'm gonna make more money, and I'm working so hard. And that wasn't like, I'm not actually jealous of him. I think I really had to like pull from something because I wasn't really sure what to write. But like, I definitely get like little bouts of jealousy like here and there, or like feelings of like, oh god, if only I could like get paid that amount, you know. But I can, and I will, and I get paid more, you know. So yeah, the jealousy map was really interesting, and that was kind of the four main topics of this week. We had some tasks to do. They were actually really fun this week. One of them was to take yourself into on a 20-minute walk, like listening to music. I do that every day anyway. Create one wonderful smell in your house. I've been burning Palo Santo all week. So they were quite creative tasks, which I really liked. But after, that's kind of like all I need to say about this. But I also just wanted to give like a little life update, because I feel like life is moving crazy right now. And I just want to talk about it just so I can have this documented. So I now have management. And I really can't believe I can say that, because it's happened so organically that I don't think I've deeped the importance of it and how much it means to me as well. I've been doing music for 3 years, and I've been completely by myself this whole time. And I felt lost, and I felt like I wanted to give up a million times. And I haven't even stepped foot properly into this industry yet. And I'm already feeling like, or I have already felt some really hard times. But yeah, I do have management, and it's just been like the biggest blessing, and it just has made so much sense. They are 2 friends of mine. I've known them for 4 or 5 years, and yeah, it's just happened super organically. And just the chats that we're having and the conversations we're having, the things we're planning are so exciting, and just that feeling of knowing that I have them is the most like supportive. It's the most supported I've ever felt during this whole time. Like, I just feel like it's a safety blanket, and I just have a team. And I have been praying for a team for years, and it's not something that I've been thinking about recently. So I think that now that it's come into my life, I kind of was just like, oh yeah, like I have management. And I had to check myself and be like, you prayed for this at a time. You really, really prayed for this, and now it's happened. And yeah, I just wanted to like put that out there whilst I'm sad. So I'm like, thank you, Lord, because it's just making sense. And I've always been very weary of who I would let manage me, because I'm very, I don't want to say I'm a control freak, but like, I know where I want to go, and I've had kind of management opportunities before, but they wanted to mold me into something that I didn't really resonate with, and I had to just say, look, this isn't going to go anywhere. Even though I really wanted management, I had to be really strict on myself. But this time they get it. And yeah, I'm just feeling super grateful for them. So that happened, and then alongside that, just I'm finally planning to release new music again. I haven't released since August, and it's now March even. So planning to release in the next 4 to 6 weeks, probably more 6 weeks. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. Wrote that song in January 2023, so I've been sitting on that one for a while. And that's why when I read the chapter about perfectionism, not that I have been adding to the song at all, but I've definitely just had it in my mind this whole time, like I need to wait for the right time to put this song out, because, and that was in a perfectionism mindset. And now I'm like, I want to just release this. I want to just put it out, let it go. And I want people to hear it, because it's a really beautiful song. Really beautiful song. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And just getting some other exciting opportunities come through. I don't want to say too much, but things are changing in my life, which I just wouldn't have expected. I'm getting opportunities and potential financial opportunities that I would have never thought up, and it's all because of my mindset. And I'm just telling myself, like, you're gonna be a fucking superstar, babe. You don't even know it yet, but you're gonna be a superstar. So time will tell, time will tell. But it's been a really good week. My artist date of this week was a pole class. I took my first pole class, and when I tell you that shit was humbling, wow, like they had a beginner's class and an absolute beginner's class, and I was so close to booking the beginner's class because I was like, like, I'm pretty fit and I dance, and it should, like, how hard can it be? Hard. Harder than hard. And I'm so glad I booked that absolute beginner's class, because God forbid I booked myself into the second one up, I would have flamed. So yeah, I've booked a course, and I'm going to be doing that over the next few months as much as I can before I move out of the flat. So yeah, just feeling super grateful. I literally did a 12-hour shift yesterday, and my whole body is aching. I'm so tired, but I'm also not. I feel really energized, and I think it's definitely just helping being in the sun. It's helping so much. But I've got another 10-hour shift ahead of me. I'm about to head there now. Next week is exciting. I've got a studio session that I'm going to be finishing a new song that I've been working on for. Hopefully get that one out soon as well, after my next release. So there's lots of things happening in the pipeline, and I'm feeling grateful as ever. Let's read week 8. Let's see what week 8 is going to entail. So week 8 is called Recovering a Sense of Strength. Julia says, this week tackles another major creative block, time. You will explore the ways in which you have used your perception of time to preclude taking creative risks. You will identify immediate and practical changes you can make in your current life. You will excavate the early conditioning that may have encouraged you to settle for far less than you desire creatively. Interesting. Time is something I don't have much of. I say that, I do, but I don't. I just feel like the time I have for creative endeavours is not so much, because most of my time is just taken up with work right now, because I'm choosing to. But this will be interesting. I'm excited for week 8. I hope that whenever you're watching this, you feel good. I hope you feel good, and I hope you have a great day. I've been listening to Abraham Hicks's The Morning Rampage every day. You should really listen to that, because that woman she just fuels me. She fuels me. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is week 7. I've got 4 weeks left, and then life's gonna be different for sure. Life's gonna be super, super, super different by the time I finish this book. It already has been from the time that I started this 7 weeks ago to now. Mad change, and just feeling mad grateful. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week.